Chapter 1. Uncovering the First Clues. For centuries, the world believed it had uncovered the major stories of human civilization. From the pyramids of Egypt to the temples of ancient Greece, each discovery added a piece to the puzzle of our past. Yet what if we've missed an entire chapter? An ancient society, hidden in plain sight, lying silent beneath centuries of earth and time. This is where our story begins. A remote, unexplored place far from human settlements, where nature has quietly reclaimed the land. It's here that a team of scientists stumbled upon something extraordinary, something that defies everything we thought we knew about history. Scattered across this forgotten landscape were artifacts that told no familiar story, pieces of pottery with intricate designs, small metal objects that seemed out of place, and symbols carved into stone. Symbols that have no resemblance to any known language or culture. What these scientists found was unlike anything we've seen before. A civilization left no trace in our history books, yet here it was, leaving behind a trail of mysterious artifacts as if calling out to be discovered. Could this be evidence of a lost civilization? A society that thrived in isolation before being swallowed by the land and forgotten by time? And if so, what other secrets might lie hidden, waiting to be uncovered? Chapter 2. A civilization out of time. As scientists dug deeper, the clues became more intricate and more baffling. They uncovered structures, stone walls carefully stacked, remnants of foundations, and tools of unknown origin. It was becoming clear that this wasn't a simple, primitive society. These people had skills, techniques, and knowledge that hinted at a level of sophistication beyond what anyone had expected. Among the ruins were intricate carvings and symbols, patterns that hinted at an understanding of mathematics or engineering. Tools that shouldn't exist in such a remote ancient setting. Small gears, metallic fragments, and markings that no known culture used. These weren't just symbols, they were carefully crafted designs that defied explanation. As the archaeologists pieced together the artifacts, they realized that this society had developed advanced techniques for building, carving, and creating that rivaled the work of ancient Egypt or Mesopotamia. Yet, there was no record of this civilization's existence in any historical text. How could an entire civilization, one this advanced, have existed without leaving any trace in the historical record? And why did they disappear, leaving only fragments and shadows for us to find? The evidence hinted at a society with knowledge that seemed out of time, a civilization that rose, flourished, and then vanished. But as the team would soon discover, they were only scratching the surface. Chapter 3. A chilling discovery in the depths. The deeper they dug, the stranger the findings became. Buried beneath layers of stone and soil, the team stumbled upon a hidden chamber, its walls lined with carvings that left them speechless. It was as though the chamber had been deliberately buried, its secrets hidden away for centuries. The carvings on the walls seemed to map the stars, aligned perfectly with constellations that modern astronomers could recognize. But how could an ancient society, isolated from the world, possess such knowledge of the heavens? Were these people merely stargazers, or did they hold a deeper understanding of the universe? Yet there was something else, something darker in these images. Figures carved into the stone, faces lifted to the sky, hands raised in a gesture we can only guess at. Strange geometric shapes that seem out of place, symbols that hint at rituals or beliefs long forgotten. What secrets did this lost civilization keep? Was this chamber a place of worship, a center of knowledge, or something far more sinister? And why was it buried, hidden from the world, for all these years? Could this lost civilization have possessed knowledge we are only now beginning to understand? Knowledge so powerful, so unsettling, that it had to be hidden from future generations. As the team looked around, one question loomed above all others. What happened to them? What force or fate erased this civilization from history, leaving only fragments of their existence buried in the earth? Chapter 4. Analyzing the artifacts, clues to advanced knowledge. After returning to the lab, the team set to work, analyzing every artifact, every fragment, hoping to make sense of the baffling discoveries from the site. Under the sterile glow of laboratory lights, the artifacts took on a new life. Each detail magnified, each imperfection telling a story. But the more they uncovered, the stranger these ancient relics became. The initial analysis suggested something astonishing. Some of the artifacts contained traces of advanced craftsmanship, methods that seemed far ahead of their time, pieces of metal alloy, too refined, too complex for a civilization so ancient. Patterns carved with precision, as though by the hands of skilled artisans. One object in particular stood out, a piece of metal with an alloy composition that shouldn't have been possible with the technology we believe was available in that era. Could these people have been skilled metal workers, mastering techniques lost to history? As they examined the artifacts, theories began to form. What if this lost civilization had developed techniques and technologies that rivaled those of later, more well-known societies? What if they were pioneers in metalworking, architecture, or even early science? Could these people have unlocked secrets of crafting and building that we are only now beginning to rediscover? And if they did, what happened to them? And why was their legacy erased from history? Chapter 5. A strange language and symbols beyond understanding. But the artifacts held another surprise, one that would lead the researchers down an even darker path. Carved into the stone, etched into metal, were strange symbols, a script that defied all known languages. These symbols weren't mere decorations, they were something far more deliberate, a language. When experts in ancient languages examined the symbols, they were left in disbelief. The markings followed no known alphabet, no script ever seen in the records of ancient history. It was as if these people had created a language entirely on their own, a script that seemed to hold secrets beyond our understanding. Some symbols appeared to represent constellations, while others hinted at complex geometric shapes. There were figures that could have been astronomical diagrams or early mathematical formulas, laid out with a precision that suggested a sophisticated knowledge of the universe. What if this lost civilization was more than just an advanced society? What if they had developed an understanding of the cosmos or a system of knowledge that remains unknown to us? And why would they need to inscribe such knowledge in a language no one else could understand? Narrator. Was this language meant to keep others away from their secrets? Or was it a message left behind for those who could one day decode it? Chapter 6. Unearthing the final discovery. An artifact of unknown origin. In the remote outskirts of the excavation site, the team stumbled upon one last discovery, an artifact that would leave them questioning the very fabric of history. It was unlike anything they'd seen before, an object that seemed out of place, almost otherworldly. The artifact was carefully removed from the soil, revealing a smooth, almost metallic surface, though unlike any known metal. It bore intricate designs, unlike the carvings they had seen before. markings that seemed as though they held a purpose, a function. Back in the lab, the tests began. They measured the artifact's density, its composition, its resilience to heat, to pressure. And with each test, the mystery only deepened. The material couldn't be identified, defying all attempts to categorize it. It was as if this object had been forged with knowledge beyond our current understanding. Theories began to swirl. Was this a relic of ancient technology, or something even stranger? A piece of a tool, a device, crafted by a society that somehow held knowledge far beyond its time. Some of the researchers began to whisper theories that sounded like science fiction. Could this be proof of technology lost to time, knowledge buried with a forgotten society? Or could this artifact suggest something even more unsettling, something we're not ready to understand? Could it be that this lost civilization held secrets so powerful, so advanced, that they became hidden, either by their own choice or by forces beyond their control? And if so, what does that mean for us as we dig deeper into their world? Chapter 7. Theories and Speculation. Who were they? As the team pieced together their findings, a wave of speculation emerged. Experts from across the world gathered, each proposing their own theory to explain the origins of this lost civilization. The artifacts, the knowledge, the symbols, it was all too advanced, too precise to be ignored. But who were they? Some believed that this was an isolated group, a society that developed in secrecy, cut off from the rest of the ancient world. They might have been an offshoot of a known civilization, one that drifted away and evolved independently. But others had theories that ventured far beyond conventional history. A few dared to suggest that this civilization's knowledge came from sources beyond our world. Could they have had contact with beings from another realm, another star? Were they handed knowledge that catapulted them centuries ahead of their time? As unlikely as it seemed, the precision and sophistication of their findings left even the most skeptical researchers questioning what might truly be possible. After all, who are we to say we know the full history of the human race? Were these people the survivors of a long-lost culture, a branch of civilization that faded into obscurity? Or did they hold knowledge passed down by sources we may never comprehend? Chapter 8. The Implications of the Discovery. Beyond the question of who they were lies an even greater question. What does this mean for us? If this civilization held knowledge so advanced, it could change everything we thought we knew about human progress. Knowledge of the stars, of engineering, and perhaps even of medicine. What if they held the keys to innovations we're only beginning to explore? Imagine a world where metalworking, architecture, and scientific understanding were mastered thousands of years before the Industrial Revolution. Imagine that our ancestors, long forgotten, had reached heights of knowledge that we only rediscovered centuries later. Some believe this discovery could be the missing link, a crucial chapter in human history that would connect ancient societies with our modern age. But if this knowledge had been passed down, imagine the advances that could have reshaped human civilization. Medicine, astronomy, even early physics. How might our world look today if their discoveries hadn't been buried beneath the earth? Are we merely scratching the surface of knowledge that was hidden away for a reason, knowledge that might have forever altered our understanding of the universe? Chapter 9. A Final Mystery. Why were they erased? Yet, the most unsettling question remains unanswered. If this civilization was so advanced, why did they disappear so completely? How could a people who mastered the stars and crafted such precise technology vanish without a trace, leaving only fragments for us to find? Some believe they were lost to natural disaster, an earthquake, a volcanic eruption, or a flood that wiped them from the face of the earth. Others propose a different theory. Perhaps they hid their knowledge, concealing it from future generations. Was it to protect their discoveries from falling into the wrong hands, or was it something else entirely? What if they deliberately chose to erase themselves from history? Perhaps they sensed a danger, an understanding of power so immense, so unsettling, that they believed it was better left forgotten. As if they knew that their knowledge, if discovered, could be too much for future generations to handle. Could they have hidden themselves away to keep us from the truth? Were these mysteries buried because humanity simply wasn't ready? The answers to these questions may remain hidden, locked away beneath the soil, in the artifacts that refuse to give up their secrets. But one thing is certain: we're only just beginning to uncover the layers of human history, peeling back centuries to reveal a world we never knew existed. What else lies waiting beneath our feet, buried under centuries of earth and dust? Could there be other civilizations, other stories, lost in time, waiting to reshape everything we think we know about ourselves? Perhaps one day we'll be ready to uncover the final secrets of the ancient world. But until then, we can only wonder.